If you're thinking about buying a foldable phone right now, you are literally about to set $2,000 on fire because there is a ghost haunting the smartphone industry right now. A device that hasn't been announced, hasn't been shown on stage, and literally doesn't even exist yet. But somehow, this mystery ghost device is causing every major Android manufacturer to freak out. I'm talking about Samsung, Honor, Oppo, companies with billions of dollars in R&D, are scrambling to tear up their blueprints and redesign their entire 2026 roadmaps. All because of a rumor. Today, we are diving deep into the iPhone Fold. We're going to look at the leaked specs that have Samsung shaking in their boots, why this weird new shape is about to kill the remote control phone era, and exactly how Apple is reshaping the future before they've even sold a single unit. Grab a coffee, because this is going to get messy. Okay, let's set the scene. You know how Apple usually waits until technology is like 5 years old, and then releases it and calls it magical? Well, they're doing it again. But this time, the industry isn't laughing. According to the latest deep dive leaks from analyst Jeff Poo, the iPhone Fold is targeting a release for late this year, probably October. But it's not the release date that matters, it's the shape. For years, Samsung has been selling us the Z Fold. And let's be honest, when it's closed, that thing is shaped like a candy bar. It's tall, it's narrow, and trying to type on that front screen is a nightmare for anyone with human-sized thumbs. Apple looked at that and said, nah. The leaks confirm Apple is going for a passport-style design. When you open the iPhone Fold, you're looking at a massive 7.8-inch inner display with a 4:3 aspect ratio. Think about that for a second. That is not a phone. That is literally an iPad mini that folds in half and fits in your pocket. And the outside? It's a 5.3-inch cover screen. Now, 5.3 might sound small compared to the monsters we have today, but because it's wider, it's actually usable. It's not trying to be a stretched-out remote control. It's just a compact, wide phone. Under the hood, it's a beast. We're hearing it'll run the A20 Pro chipset, packing 12 gigs of RAM to handle all that Apple Intelligence AI stuff. And the cameras? They aren't skimping. Dual 48-megapixel sensors on the back. And get this, 18-megapixel selfie cams on both the inside and the outside screens. But here is the detail that gave me major nostalgia whiplash. Rumors say Apple is bringing back Touch ID. Yes, the fingerprint scanner is supposedly coming back, integrated right into the power button. Because let's face it, Face ID is awkward when your phone is half open on a table. So, that's the Apple device. Sounds cool, right? But here's where the story gets hilarious. Samsung, the king of foldables, the company that practically invented this market, heard these rumors and reportedly hit the panic button. Reports from Korea say Samsung is internally developing a brand new device codenamed the Wide Fold. This is not the Z Fold 7 or 8. This is a totally new form factor design specifically to cut Apple off at the pass. And wouldn't you know it? The specs look suspiciously familiar. Samsung's Wide Fold supposedly has a 7.6-inch inner screen with, you guessed it, a 4:3 aspect ratio. And the cover screen? 5.4 inches. They are literally matching Apple inch for inch before Apple even announces the thing. Samsung is so serious about this that they are planning to produce 1 million units of this special edition immediately. And they are rushing the launch to July. Why July? Because they need to beat the iPhone September or October announcement. It's a total power move, but it also smells a little bit like fear. And it's not just Samsung. Honor is reportedly reviving their affordable foldable series. The leaks call it the V or BS series, just to compete with this wider format. Oppo is jumping back in too. Suddenly, everyone realizes that the tall, skinny phone was a mistake, and the wide passport phone is the future. The irony here is painful. The original Google Pixel Fold actually had this wide shape years ago, but nobody really cared until Apple decided to do it. It's the classic Apple effect. Apple doesn't invent the technology, they just make it culturally relevant. Oh, why does this shape matter? Why is everyone pivoting? It's all about the black bars. If you own a current Z Fold, you know the pain. You open that beautiful big screen to watch a YouTube video, and because the screen is practically a square, you get massive black bars on the top and bottom. You're barely using the screen real estate. But with Apple's 4:3 approach, the aspect ratio is much closer to a TV or a monitor. It's better for video, it's better for split-screen multitasking, and it just feels more natural. It's the iPad experience. Folded, the stakes here are massive. Last year, Samsung shipped about 6 million foldables total. That's good. But analysts like Ming-Chi predict Apple could ship 10 million iPhone folds in the first year alone, that if Apple enters the market and immediately outsells Samsung's entire lineup with a single device, it's game over for the current designs. That is why Samsung is rushing. That is why Honor is scrambling. They know that once the average consumer sees a foldable that actually looks like a normal phone when closed and an iPad when open, there is no going back. This competition is great for us, though. It means better hinges, thinner devices, and finally, flagship cameras. For years, foldable phones had trash cameras because they were too thin to fit good sensors. But with the iPhone Fold rocking dual 48-megapixel shooters, Samsung and the others have to step up their game. No more compromising on photo quality just to look cool. But let's be real for a second. There's still a huge hurdle: the price. Apple products are never cheap. If the current Z Fold is $1,800, you can bet your house the iPhone Fold is going to touch the $2,000 mark, maybe even higher. But here is the difference. People will pay it for an Apple logo. Samsung knows this. That's why this wide fold coming in July is so critical for them. They need to prove they can do this form factor better, and maybe cheaper, before the iPhone steals the spotlight. So, what does this mean for you? It means we are entering the wide, foldable era. The days of the skinny, awkward remote control phones are numbered. By this time next year, your pocket is going to look very different than if you were planning to buy a Z Fold 6 or waiting for the Pixel Fold 2. My advice? Wait. Just wait. We are about to see a massive shift in design philosophy. Even if you hate Apple, you should be happy about this. Because Apple entering the ring forces Samsung to stop being lazy. It forces prices to eventually become competitive. And it forces developers to finally make apps that work properly on big screens. I want to hear from you guys, though. Does the wide passport shape appeal to you more than the tall, skinny one? Or is Apple just ruining a good thing? And would you actually switch to iPhone for a foldable? Let me know down in the comments. I read all of them. And seriously, if you want to keep up with this absolute war that is about to happen between Samsung and Apple, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm going to be tracking every leak, every rumor, and every panic move these companies make. The smartphone world hasn't been this exciting in a decade. Don't miss it. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.